Scarlett Johansson is salty now, and she's suing Disney for it. Wow.
Gracias por ver la esquina de Jody. Thank you for watching Jody's Corner.
YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. Yes, that's true. Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney because she doesn't like the fact that her movie was released day and day on Disney Plus and in theaters. She felt it was a breach of contract, so she's suing Disney. We all know that Black Widow flopped. There's a lot I have to talk about here. We all know Black Widow's flopping now. Now in comes this lawsuit. Some of this timing is suspect. Some of these things that I understand why Scarlett is mad. I'm a fan of Scarlett. I'm a fan of Black Widow. But a lot of these things she should have saw coming. So let me go ahead and take a look at this article right here. It says that the decision to release Black Widow on Disney Plus at the same time the hit theaters has sparked a legal battle with ScarJo and the actress tasked with playing Marvel superhero in a lawsuit filed on Thursday, which was today. So now we know she filed the lawsuit today. That's very important. Really, please keep that in your mind. She filed the lawsuit today. Not a week ago, not 2 weeks ago, not 3 weeks ago. Today. Not 3 months ago when she found out it was coming to Disney Plus. She filed it today. Okay? So it was filed today in Los Angeles Superior Court. Attorneys for Johansson alleged that the star's contract was breached when the studio opted not to debut the film exclusively in theaters. A move they claimed depressed ticket sales for the Avengers spinoff. Much of Johansson's compensation was tied to the box office performance of Black Widow. If it hit certain benchmarks, bonuses would kick in. Disney, quote, Disney intentionally induced Marvel's breach of the agreement without justification in order to prevent Ms. Johansson from realizing the full benefit of her bargain with Marvel, the suit reads. Now, I feel like that's BS. There's no way that Disney did this on purpose just to slight Scarlett Johansson from getting her bonus money. But that is true. If a movie does well in the box office, say there's like in the contract, I know with ScarJo as well, Robert Downey Jr. has this clause as well. If a movie makes like $400 million, they'll be like, okay, if it makes $400 million, ScarJo, we'll give you an extra $5 million. If it hits $600 million, we'll give you an extra $10 million. If it hits $1 billion, we'll give you an extra $10 million on top of that. So not only is she going to get paid for doing the film, which is probably $20 million, $15 to $20 million, but if it made $1 billion, she would get an additional $25 million, meaning she got dang near $45 million, $40 to $45 million for doing Black Widow. That's tight, right? And yeah, you're definitely not going to get that stuff. So I understand why Scarlett Johansson is mad. I do. But there's ways that she could have come to Disney and made an agreement with them, or they could have cut a check. You could have came to Disney and said, yo, listen, ScarJo could have said, I need to get money because you put on Disney Plus. I'm not getting this bread. And the execs would have definitely cut the check. I really believe this, especially since Scarlett Johansson is one of the top tier. She's on her way out the MCU. She's done so much films and stuff for the Marvel Universe. And you know what also makes me feel this way? Why I know if she would have just came to the suits at Disney and said, yo, cut the check. Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot did the same thing. When they released, when Warner Brothers' stupid Jason Kilar went behind everyone's back and released Wonder Woman 84 on Christmas for HBO Max and didn't put it in theaters, Patty went over there, Gal went there, had a meeting with them like, yo, what's going on? And allegedly, they cut that check. They cut them an additional $10 million per pop a piece just because of that situation. So you mean to tell me that Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot could do it when neither one of them are as big as Scarlett Johansson and has the relationship that they have with Disney like ScarJo does? Man, miss me, bro. If y'all believe that, y'all tripping, bro. So now that we know, it's not about that, because Scarlett Johansson could have went and got that bread some other way. They announced that Black Widow was going to go to theaters, and we know that it didn't do well. So here's my issue here. Black Widow's a flop. It just is what it is. It's a flopped film. Flop, 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 flop. Why did it flop, though? Why did it only make $300 million worldwide with a $200 million production budget and plus all of the marketing they had to do? They rescheduled Black Widow 2 or 3 times. So that means they marketed this film for a year and a half. You know how much marketing that costs? Let's just say another let's just say another $100 million. So we're talking about $300 million for Black Widow to be out, and it only made about three. Where's that now? Like 350? Flop. Why though? Could it be because Black Widow wasn't a good film like that? Could it be because Black Widow was riddled with SJW agendas to make men look like buffoons and idiots? Like Red Guardian, the beginning of the movie, he was awesome. For the rest of the movie, he was a buffoon, clown, idiot, moron. And every man in this movie was ignorant. Less than. The main boss said there was too many women in the world, so I'm going to use you as widows to take other people out. I mean, it's quite ridiculous, man. It's quite ridiculous. And the fact that Florence Pugh, she was more of a star in Black Widow to me than ScarJo was. Taskmaster, spoiler, was gender swapped, and I called it. They made Taskmaster a woman. This movie was a propaganda film, and all us fans wanted to do was see what happens after Endgame. But in this film, did they put anything in Black Widow to tie it to Endgame, knowing that we know that of her demise to come? Did they give us any heartfelt, emotional beats that would make us feel bad? Did they put Captain America cameos like we wanted, Iron Man or someone, any other Marvel cameos? You're an Avenger. No. We got Ross, old man Ross. Bro, the movie was kind of weird, bro. The movie did not, whether you like it or not, because I think I liked it. I liked Black Widow, but I was incredibly disappointed with Black Widow. Enough for me to tell people, don't watch it. It's not worth it. And not only me, many of you watching right now, when they ask, should I go watch Black Widow in the theater? Should I go watch it? Should I pay $30 for it? Many of you said no, because you were disappointed as well. Let's go back a little bit further. ScarJo, you got problems now, and you got problems with the theatrical window. You got problems with the Disney Plus window on streaming. Where were you 3 months ago when you, or a year ago, when you read this trash script? When you read this script, when you read this whole entire film, you had nothing to say back then. Where were you 3 months ago when you were talking about Black Widow in the MCU is nothing but a piece of meat? She doesn't have value, alluding to the fact she doesn't have value and she was just a sexual object. What? I couldn't believe you said that. Sure, she was a piece of meat because she was sexy, but she was so much more than that. In Iron Man 2, she was fantastic. She was smart, brave, cunning. She was a spy. She had skills. She could fight. She was intelligent. She had a lot. And the fact that you compartmentalized her to a piece of meat let me know the mentality of you coming into this movie. You were in that SJW mindset. That's where you was at. So where was that energy then when they announced it on Disney Plus? I believe they announced that your movie was coming to Disney Plus back in like March, February. When was the Disney Investor Day? Wasn't that in like February or March? And they announced Black Widow is coming to Disney Plus, whatever. Or was that March? Yeah. So we've known for like 3 months that your film was coming to streaming, and you didn't say nothing about it. We all know why this is happening. This is not about the theatrical window. This is not about Disney Plus. This is not about what the fans wanted. This ain't about what the cast and crew wanted. Heck, it's not even about what you wanted. It's about one thing. It's about that bag. You only care about the money. You're mad that this shit came out on Disney Plus and no one bought it. You're mad that it came out in the box office and no one saw it. And now you're so mad that it's flopping worldwide and it ain't got no legs because the word of mouth for this movie is terrible. And now you're salty and you ran to the courthouse. Oh, I want to sue because I'm not getting enough money. Did you even go to Disney? Did you go to Feige? Did you go and try to hash this out? Because Gal and Patty did it and they got $20 million out of it. They walked up in that office with zero, came out 20 million richer. Checks in the hand. Checks in the hand. So that's weird to me. This is selfish. You know, this is a selfish move, and it's not a good look. You know, this is a bad exit for you. It's a bad exit because the movie wasn't that good. It was full of SJW propaganda. You promoted it, it says, talk about Black Widow's nothing but a piece of meat. I mean, like, dang, like everything after Endgame with your character and you has sucked. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If I was just now introduced to your character and I didn't know about you, I would not like Black Widow. I would not like you. It's weird. I don't know what's going on, but one thing is for sure, I know that you came over here to get this bag. You're not happy at the results. They broke the results of the lawsuit. Report sources that Johansson estimate that the decision to release the film concurrently on Disney Plus resulted in $50 million in lost bonuses. See, she's expecting $50 million in bonuses. Well, I have something to tell you, Scarlett. You were not going to get $50 million in bonuses for box office for this movie. No, you weren't, because this is not a great movie. This is barely a good movie. And it's barely a good movie and it has nothing to do with you. That's weird. This movie was not going to make $800 million if it was released strictly in theaters. Scarlett, I'll give you an extra $150 million on the box office. I believe if this movie with this film that we saw was released only in theaters, $450 million. That's how much I'll give you. $450 million max worldwide. And that ain't no $50 million bonus. You would have been disappointed either way, because at the end of the day, it's not just theaters that was going to save you and lace your pockets. It's the fact that your movie had to be good. It's not even in your head. You see, that's letting me know you're blaming the theatrical window and Disney Plus when you're not fathoming, you can't fathom that the movie was just not good and made fans disappointed. It was full of SJW propaganda. It was a woman empowering, man hating movie that turned fans off, that had no MCU cameos in it, had no heart, no emotion, didn't cry once when I should have been crying, bawling in that thing. Had no ties into what was going to happen to you, your family, the Avengers. What's going on? Black Widow, the movie, was just another mission. That's blasphemous. Your movie was just another mission. You didn't even have Hawkeye in it. How do you not put Hawkeye in this thing? I would love to put it back. What's going on? How come it couldn't just be because of that? As far as the results of this lawsuit, I don't know what will happen, but put down in the comment section what you guys think. I'm going to keep it real regardless of what you guys feel. Subscribe to the channel if you want that truth to be told. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys for supporting Jody's Corner. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing, man. Deuces.